Good morning, everyone.
Morning, ma'am.
Good to see you all here.
Good morning, ma'am.
We will wait for a few more minutes and then we will start. Okay, now let us get started. Before jumping into the session, let us have few interactions. The topic for today is like roadmap to become a full stack developer. We will be discussing like what is Java full stack. Actually, we will be discussing about what is full stack, what are the different types of full stack available, and there are new other topics, upcoming topics which are there. Then we will move on to what is Java full stack. What is that you need to learn to become a Java full stack developer? Okay, guys, I was really very happy by seeing the initiative, and I was much more inspired to see many people you have taken up this challenge and you have done it successfully. So this becomes your backend part. So if it is a Java full stack application, what is there in the front end? What should you learn? And what are the topics that you need to learn? And I will also share tips and tricks. It's not only about my course and everything. I will tell you certain places from where you can just take certain materials and learn, provided you are a self learner. Okay, so there are different categories, right? There are many people who need hand holding and guidance. That is the first category. There are few people who can learn by themselves. There are few people who can learn by themselves, but of course they need certain guidance in certain places. Like, I want to know what are the materials, what is the new trend. I don't have time. So we will discuss on that also. Together with that, I will show you a very simple application. Already you know how to develop the backend. Okay, I'll show you a backend based API, and I will show you a React application which I have created already. This we have done it for a batch. So from the front end, how we will be interacting to the backend application, we will see that example also. And finally, to end with, I want to share you two exciting things about the offers and the upcoming topics that we will be doing, like in either in YouTube or as a course that we will discuss. Anything you want to share, you can share it in the chat window, guys. I want to have this as an interactive session. We have been interacting for the past 15 days. To be very frank, you guys motivated me to do more. Like, I want every day while waking up, I feel that okay, I need to do this in this particular way. I have to complete the Spring application in this way so that the participants can understand. And what are the queries that they have asked? This is what I used to think about. So you can share your queries and you can share your questions in the chat window. Now let me share my screen. Now let us get started. These are the topics that we are going to discuss now. What is Java full stack? Can you mute your mics, everybody? Yes. Okay. So let us get started. I hope most of you have joined. Like today's webinar, these are the topics that we are going to discuss. First, what is full stack development? Then what are the skills and technologies that you need to learn to become a full stack developer? Then I will explain about Java full stack, then step-by-step roadmap, how you have to develop yourself. If you are a fresher, if you are an experienced person, how exactly you need to handle it, that I will just tell you. And few tips and tricks. See, based on, I mean, I am learning, I'm getting stuck, how I have to proceed. So those kind of things also we will discuss now. Now let us get started. Okay. So, guys, first thing is, even before jumping into Java full stack, first let us see what is full stack development. Most of you might be knowing it, but the idea over here is I just want to show you few other full stacks which are available, and then we will move on to Java full stack. Okay. What is full stack development? Full stack development involves working on both the front end and the back end part of an application. See, when I started or when we started during those times in 2000s, I mean, early 2000s and late 2010s, it was only back end developer. Yeah. Before that, like, I have not introduced myself. I am Shri Priya here. I've got nearly 18 plus years of experience in training, both freshers and experienced people in different corporates in Chennai, Hyderabad, and Bangalore. So I have done training for many different corporates in Bangalore, still continuing it. Together with that, like I am running my own online training center where I do trainings for Java full stack. So you have seen my videos in YouTube. I have got my own portal where I have got courses for these topics. Together with that, like I'm doing coaching also, which runs for 6 months. So this is about me. Now let us get started. See, as I told you, in early 2000s and late 2000s, during those times, it was only backend. When I go for training, either it is only for the backend part or it is for the front end part. From 2014 and 15, the concept of full stack started coming in, pitching in, wherein a developer who is coming inside should be well versed to work either in the back end part or in the front end part. See, when usually it will be like back end is completely full of logical analytical skills and front end is full of designing. Now it is not like that. You should be well versed in working any part of the application. It is not only that, together with that, even DevOps. Okay. So you all know this. This is a very basic one for any application stack. There is a presentation layer, a business layer, a data access layer, and database. We did many applications, right? So what is a presentation layer? Whatever the user sees, that is called as the presentation layer. And what about business logic? I hope you all can hear me, right? Yes?
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So what about business logic? The business logic is the part where you will be handling all the business related stuff. As in, this will become your service layer. If you related to whatever we have learned, this becomes your service layer. And what is data access layer? The layer that is going to connect to the database becomes your data access layer. So I hope this complete structure is clear. But remember, there is a huge difference between layer and tier. What is tier? Tier means a separate system which is going to have the business logic. It's a physical structure. Data access tier means it's a separate system which will have the database server and other stuffs. Okay. Now, when you talk about layer, whatever we have done, it is called as a layered architecture. As in our application, I am just separating service layer separately, data access separately. It is one single system. So layering is logical separation. Tiers means physical separation. So this is how a full stack application looks like. Now, what about the front end part? If you are having any questions, you can unmute your mic and ask me, because I have hidden the floating controls which are on the top. So I'll not be able to see your chat messages. Okay. What about the front end part? I don't have to tell you. Most of you know, we will be starting with the basic HTML, CSS. In HTML, you know, for developing web pages, CSS is providing designing. Under that, you are having sassy CSS, SASS, and SCSS. Syntactically, sugar CSS and SCSS. These two are used together with CSS for performing functionality specific designing. Just like how you are adding functionalities, here you can do that with SCSS and SASS. And of course, you know about JavaScript. What is the purpose of JavaScript? Whenever you want to provide interactivity for your application, you need to use JavaScript. Now, coming to the frameworks part. Now, guys, what I am seeing is of late, React together with React, Vue.js also is getting popularity. Earlier, I remember from 2016 to 2022, it was only Angular. We used to teach only Angular for front end, but now Vue.js and React.js is gaining popularity for front end in case of a full stack application. These are frameworks with the help of which we can develop dynamic applications. We will deal about that in detail. Now, coming to the JavaScript library. What is the difference between a library and a framework? Framework only provides the skeleton. What is a library? I have a functionality. Like if I use a library, the functionality will be done easily. Say, for example, I'm having an array. I want to sort the elements in an array. If I don't know Java, or if I know Java, I don't know the inbuilt methods, I will write the logic all by myself. Correct? So that is called as like writing all by yourself is like the plain JavaScript. It is also called as vanilla JavaScript. Just like your vanilla ice cream flavor, where you don't add any toppings, any extra sauce, what is it? Yeah, sauces and all. So that is plain JavaScript. Here also, like in Java also, you can sort the elements by using bubble sort, this sort, that sort, and you can sort the elements. Now, other than that, if I say a library, it is providing certain features which I can use so that the task is accomplished. Arrays.sort, that is a method that we use to sort the elements. So similarly, the jQuery, React, they help to perform certain operations very easily. So in case of React, people say it is a framework. Actually, it is not a framework. It is a JavaScript library with the help of which you can develop web applications. If you just deep dive into React, you will get to know that. jQuery is also a library. Whatever you have been doing with JavaScript, suppose say you are writing 10 lines of code, you can write it in 2 lines of code in case of jQuery. And coming to the responsive design, long ago, so long ago, I have to say, people were using Bootstrap. Now people have switched to Material because it is very highly responsive and very easy to do also. This is about the front end part. Now coming to the back end part. See, when I say for application, so here I am having my presentation layer. This is my front end. This is my front end, and now we are talking about the backend. What is there in the backend? What are the server-side programming languages that you have in backend? Most of you are experienced. I don't have to tell that, but still we'll just have a look into it. The server-side programming language can be Java, Python, Node.js, .NET. .NET full stack also is gaining popularity. And what about the frameworks relevant to that one? If it is Java, the framework is only Spring framework. My dear guys, people like when they say that, they say they can get confused between Spring and Spring Boot. The base one is Spring framework only. Spring Boot is built on top of Spring framework. It's not actually a technology or anything. If you notice, the basic technology is Java. If I'm going to use Django, I cannot use Java inside that. I should use only Python. If I'm using Express.js, not use Java in that. I need to use only JavaScript. So please understand, there is something called as the base technology. The base technologies, as you can say, it can be Java, Python, .NET, JavaScript. So these are 4 different categories. On top of it, they are developing libraries, they are developing frameworks. So Spring framework is built on top of Java. Spring Boot is built on top of Spring framework. So please understand that. So when you are starting to learn Spring or any other framework, I understand the underlying concepts, then jump into that framework. Okay. Express.js comes with Node.js. Actually, it is with Node, it is only low level, simple applications we can develop. To develop high level web applications, we can use Express.js. Database management, you all know about that. API development, using all this, if you are working with backend, you need to know how to develop REST APIs. In one other webinar, we will discuss about what is a REST API, why should I use REST API. Few pointers I have given it in that video itself, but still we will deep dive into that in another webinar. Okay, in case of database, what are the types of databases that you need to know? RDBMS database and also NoSQL. NoSQL means not only structured query language. Why should I use NoSQL database? Why not RDBMS? Earlier, the data was structured. The data was stored in the form of tables only. But now we are dealing with unstructured data. Why? Because the moment social media apps start coming in, the data becomes unstructured. The data can be in the form of columns, it can be in the form of document, it can be in the form of graphs also. Please understand the difference between relational and NoSQL databases. Relational databases, you create a schema first. I want to get the list of employees. So the employee will have employee name, employee ID, department, city. For every employee, you need to fill those data. Maybe you are using null, it will accept null values also. But in case of NoSQL databases, it is not mandatory that you need to have a schema. Simple example. You are using Instagram, I am also using Instagram. But in my Instagram, I have not even added any profile pic. I am not posting anything. I am not adding reels. But you are having your profile pic. You are adding post. You are commenting on others' post also. So your data is completely different from my data. Every data, that is every record, is going to be in the form of document. What is that? You are skilling up, means it is mandatory that you need to learn one relational database. Obviously, most of you will know about any relational database that you are working with. Together with that, you should know NoSQL database also. That is, it can be MongoDB or CouchDB. Okay, what is the latest one that is getting more popularity? Postgres. Why? Because it behaves both as a SQL database and NoSQL database. Meaning to say that I can use Postgres to do RDBMS specific stuff, that is joins and all that, or I can make it behave like NoSQL database also. So if at all, if you are learning, it is mandatory that you should know Postgres also. Okay, what about the query languages? How to retrieve data from the databases? Fine. Now comes the DevOps part. So how many of you are interested in DevOps? Just tell me how many of you are interested in DevOps. People who are from the back-end part, like sometimes they don't feel that they want to do DevOps. So what are the DevOps tools that you know? Yeah, guys, you can just share your messages in the chat window. Now I have opened it. What are the DevOps tools that you have worked with? It's just a tool. So what are the DevOps tools that you have worked with? Yes, please share your messages, answers. Yeah, very good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, great. Okay. So many of you have worked in it. Like say DevOps means these are all support tools. They are used for operational purposes. When you are learning, you will not learn it as a specific thing, but it is mandatory that you need to do. It is for CANCGS, continuous integration and continuous development. So for that, you need to know DevOps tools. Okay, fine. I am a developer or I am a front-end designer. Why should I know DevOps? There are certain DevOps tools which is a must to learn. So I will tell you my experience. So when I started, like I mean 2013, this DevOps was gaining very much popularity. Learning about Ansible and so many other tools. I felt that I will not fit into that because it's all about configuration, all about configuring your server, configuring a database, and configuring everything is relevant to related to configuration. Then what I decided is, if I am becoming a full stack developer, I will learn whatever is relevant to that particular full stack development. So if you want to become a full stack developer in DevOps, we will talk about that also. Somebody has asked that also. Git. First one is Maven. What is Maven? It is a project management tool. The moment you start with Java, you would have written like Java, Java C and so on. Now with Maven, you can do everything. So Maven, you need to know. Maven is a project management tool. Then next is Git. Whenever you are adding your applications, completing, you need to work with repositories because you will be working in a team. Second one, mandatory tools. Then the third one is JUnit. You are a Java developer. You might be wondering, why should I test my application? Yeah, there are people who will be doing the testing part. That is completely different. For unit testing your Java classes, you need to know how to use JUnit, how to use Mockito. Only if you know JUnit and Mockito, you can write test cases for your Spring application. Okay, so JUnit, Mockito. And if you are an experienced person, it is mandatory that you should know Jenkins. Okay, and then the next one is Docker. Now we have discussed about Docker in our program, but that is not enough. What I have shown is how to deploy our Spring application. And in Docker, when I am pulling databases, and when I'm having multiple services, the services has to interact between each other. So you need to work on that also. Docker. Docker, my dear guys, now they are not using in production. They have moved on to Kubernetes. So Kubernetes. So these are the mandatory tools that you need to know. AWS, Azure and all, like you should know how to deploy your application in AWS and Azure. I'm not touching into that part. That is cloud computing, which is completely different. So mandatory tool is Git, Maven, JUnit, Mockito, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. It is a part of full stack development. Now it has become a part of full stack development. Now, see, what are the different types of full stacks? Mean, Mern, LAMP, Django, Ruby on Rails, and Java stack. Mean, everybody knows. I'll just quickly go through it. MongoDB, Express, Angular, Node.js. So this MongoDB is the database part. For the front end, the framework that you will be using is Angular. For the middleware, the technology is JavaScript. On top of it, Node.js is built. It is a server-side JavaScript runtime. With Node.js, I can develop only simple applications. To develop proper web applications, we are using a framework called as Express. That is not an Express alone is not a framework. There is something called a Sail. Then Koya, K-O-A. So these frameworks are available, but Express has gained more popularity. Now next is Merge Stack. Instead of Angular, we will be using React as the front end part. There is also one more framework which is gaining popularity in 2025. MEVN. I don't know how to spell it. MEVN. That is Vue.js, which will be used for front end part. Okay. So I hope it is clear till this. Now, LAMP stack. LAMP stack, my dear guys, it's a very, very, very old one. Still for developing web applications, people are using it. You might have heard about it. Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. Django stack is gaining popularity because of AI and machine learning. And I want to tell you one interesting thing. If you are developing a Spring web application, now AI specific functionality also has been introduced in Spring. Spring Boot has developed a specific dependency. You can add that dependency and you can make your Spring REST API just behave just like a ChatGPT application. As in, you ask for something, it has to give you the data. So that possibility has been introduced in Spring also. This is Django framework, and then Ruby on Rails and Java full stack. Okay. How will you decide? How will you decide which one you need to take? Should I go in for mean stack or merge stack or Java full stack or Python full stack? If you are a fresher, what I would suggest is if you are really very creative and interested in working in the JavaScript part, you can just go in for mean stack or merge stack. Or I told you MEVN stack. Most of the startups, they are looking for this. If you are an experienced developer, then you can pick and choose between Java stack or Python stack. If you are already working in Java, I would suggest, I will tell you one interesting thing, which I always tell in my corporates also. I started my career, I have completed my engineering in 1996. Literally 1996, I have done my MBA in 9 and I completed it in 98. Okay. But I started my career late. So during in 2000s, I wanted to start with Java. Okay, so I took the Java book. So the only Bible that time is complete reference, the complete reference that is for Java 2. So I started with that. So when I started with Java 2, what happened is like year 2000, right? So Y2K problem came in, pitched in. So people said like, okay, fine, Java is gone. It will not work out at all. You will have to close it and you. But still now what I feel is, what I am seeing is Java is still there. But they are coming up with new ideas. They are adapting to changes. And together with that, the frameworks that are built on top of Java are reliable and scalable. If you are working in corporates, if you are looking for a change, if you want to push yourself on the same stack, I would suggest take Java full stack and proceed further on the same stack itself. I started with Java, then I learned Hibernate, then I moved on to Spring. 2003 Spring came into structure. Actually by 2007 and all we started taking Spring. The basic Spring Boot was not there. We used to do Spring Struts framework, then Hibernate. These were the three main things that we used to take those times in 2008, 9, 10 and all. Then after 2012, slowly it started picking us full stack. By 2017, 18 and all, it was stable. So yeah, what I'm seeing is on top of it, everything is getting up and up on the same ladder. You can proceed further to microservices. You can move on to ELK stack and you can go in that same scenario. We will discuss that. Now I'll move from this slide. Okay. So now, guys, I'll just tell you directly from the as a pictorial representation. This is easier for me. So now let us see the roadmap to become a Java full stack developer. Most of you know, like, oh, you might be okay. What is that? I need to learn front end. Then I need to learn the back end part. Then I need to learn the database. This is what you are going to tell. Yeah, yes, of course. The same thing only I am just going to tell. How to start and from where to start. Many of you are already working in Java. So and there are also a few freshers who are over here who are looking for job desperately. Like what I would suggest is Never start from the front end. Why? Because if you start from the front end is like something completely different. If you are going to become a front end developer, like if you are going to work with mean, MERN or MEV and stack, then start with the front end part. Why? Because if as a fresher or if you are starting with the front end part, obviously you will start with HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and you'll do simple applications like tic-tac-toe, calculator application, this, that. Of course, all that are needed. I'm not denying it at all. But the moment you move from front end to back end, you find it very, very difficult to start with Java. Because Java is like a military officer. If you learn Java, you can learn any other technology very easily. I started only with Java. I don't know C or I don't know C++. Even though I'm from that time, like I've done my engineering in ECE. So I don't know C or C++. I started only with Java. So what I would suggest is, if you are starting your career with Java, or if you're already working in Java, then what are the things that you need to learn? So first, start with the backend part. In the backend, you need to start with Java. If you are a person who is working in Java and you are actively looking in for change, Java alone is not enough. That is, if you might be working with Java 1.8, maybe till Java 8, but you should upgrade yourself till Java 21. There are so many features which are introduced, like they have introduced sealed classes, records, switch case returning data, different methods of list, and also in Java 8, the functional interfaces. Java 8, I mean, from 2017-18, like we have started getting questions. So, functional interfaces. Then, what about Streams API? This is very, very important. So you have to be well versed in, you're working with Streams API. It's not that I have learned Streams API. No, you should know the questions relevant to Streams API. What is the purpose of functional interface? Why did they come with that? And what are the new changes that they have made in interfaces? What is the use of sealed classes? This is an interesting concept. The purpose of sealed classes is, like, suppose I am having a class employee. Just a quick example, okay? Now, you all know that you can do inheritance. It means anybody can extend this class. Under employee, I can have manager. Even a dog can extend employee. Even a cat can extend employee. Even car can extend employee. Any class can extend an employee class. Correct. So that is the proper inheritance that we have learned. But I don't want anybody to inherit, means then I have to make the classes final. It is something like, I want to allow only few friends to my party. I don't want to allow others to the party. Means what I will do, only to the selected group I will send the invitation. I will provide permission only for those groups. So similarly, I can create a class, a sealed class, and I can provide permission only for manager and developer. I will neglect these classes. Getting it? I will not give permission at all. Means class sealed employee permits manager, comma developer. Only these two classes can be subclasses of employee. So there are so many other concepts relevant to it. So you should know what is the purpose of sealed classes, records, switch cases. So this is to start with in Java. Once you have completed Java, this is the core Java part. Of course, you would have learned JDBC, connecting JDBC. In case of JDBC, the main thing that you need to know is how to call a stored procedure from JDBC. That is, we will be using callable statement. You need to understand about prepared statement, callable statement. Then you should understand about prepared statement. Okay. Now, after this, the next part is, after completing Java JDBC, the next thing that you need to do is JUnit. For testing your application, this is mandatory. JUnit and Mockito. Guys, actually, when we go for corporates, you might be thinking like, okay, she has taken training, so she's going for the corporate. Every other corporate takes us interview. I've been attending interviews till 2023 Feb. Meaning to say that they will ask, what is the, okay, when I say, just like how you tell your experience, here also they ask about my experience. They ask me, what is the purpose of functional interface? What is the difference between a static method and default method that is introduced in interface? Okay, when will you use Mockito? What is the difference between JUnit and Mockito? So these kind of informations also you should know. You should know how to use that also. Okay, so this is for the complete Java part. Once you have completed it, usually years before, when I am doing training in corporates, we used to teach JSP and servlets. The next part, okay, JSP and servlets. Before that, we will give an introduction to HTML and CSS. JSP and servlets. Then next is REST API. Next is Hibernate. I do have courses for all this because we used to teach all this. Hibernate. REST API means not with Spring, with pure Java, how to create, develop REST APIs. So after completing it, only then we will come to Spring framework. Okay. So now the next one is Spring. Now you might be wondering whether it is necessary that I need to know JSP servlets. Not required. Okay, because if you start working with Spring, during that time, you should have an understanding about what is the purpose of servlet API. So you can learn about servlet API. The next one is REST API. Should I know what is REST API? Of course, yes. You should have a basic understanding of what is REST API, how actually it is operating, what is the meaning of a client and server. In the server, how a resource is getting created, what are the HTTP methods that we will be using. So those kind of information you should know in REST API. This is mandatory. Okay, it's not that you need to develop a REST API using Java, but at least you should know what is actually this REST API is. Next, about Hibernate. Do I need to know Hibernate? Guys, if you're working in Hibernate, it is okay that you get an understanding of Hibernate. Or else, just walk through what exactly is Hibernate. Hibernate is a ORM framework, Object Relational Mapping Framework. Means my Java object will be converted into a row. Say, for example, I want to store my employee object into the database table. So what will you do? First, you have to create the table all by yourself in the database. The next step is, after that, you have to get the employee details, name, ID, city, everything. And you will be storing one by one, you will be adding it to the database using insert query, correct? Insert into table, insert into employee, values. You will be writing this query in your Java application. This is how you do with JDBC. But what about Hibernate? In case of Hibernate, by itself will help to create the table. Meaning to say that you don't have to create a table. If a table is already existing, it will use the existing table. Number one. It helps to auto-generate the ID also. Number two. That is the second one. Now, the table is ready. My class is converted into a database table. What is the next step? I have to save the data. I want to save this particular details, whatever the user is entering. Now, what I will do, using this details, I will create an employee object. Now, this employee object will be stored as one record in the database table. Employee name, ID, city, department. All these happens automatically. So that is the purpose of using Hibernate. Whatever Java operations you are having, we were discussing about associations, right? One to one, one to many, many to many. All that will be taken care easily by Hibernate. Hibernate supports association, inheritance, component mapping. If you are really interested and if you want to have that in your CV, then you can just go and watch through Hibernate and learn Hibernate. So that is the next part. Now, once you have completed this, we are coming to Spring Framework. Okay. In between, what else is needed? You need to learn also, guys, my dear guys, it is important. You should know what is Maven. What we have done is simply MVN package for the final application. But you should know what is Maven, what is the meaning of goal, how to create a jar file, what is the difference between install and what is the purpose of MVN clean, MVN package, MVN test. So those things, just to go through that. It's not that you should deep dive into it and all. Just go through that. And there is a subtle difference between install and deploy. So you should know what are the different goals of Maven. Okay. After that, you have to enter into Spring. Any questions till now? Guys, any questions? Is it good to go?
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. So if it is, see, my way is like I go into it. So if it is little bit boring, you can just tell me in the comments also. Okay. So usually we do 60 days of training. Okay. Usually during that time, see guys, why I am very confident means I have taken 60 days of training for freshers. People who don't know anything. People come from mechanical background, civil background, and people come from non-CS background. So next is Spring. Now coming to the Spring part. So what are the topics that you need to know? Let me just delete this all. Okay. This is, guys, a roadmap to Spring. We have learned, most of you have done Spring with me. So we are starting with Spring. Java 8 to 21, JDBC, then JUnit, then Mockito, then Maven, then REST API, basics, Hibernate, conceptual understanding. So till this we have completed. Now we will move on to Spring. What is Spring? Spring is a framework with the help of which you can develop web applications, REST API, standalone applications. Okay, what is that you need to learn in Spring? Spring, guys, whatever I have taught in the same manner only you need to start with. Start with Maven. Okay, so we will be using Maven. You will be learning about IOC. In IOC, like what are the topics that you need to go is like what is IOC container, what is what are the modules of Spring framework, what is auto wiring, scope. IOC, this is more than enough, but you have to understand in detail what is auto wiring, what are the different types of auto wiring, what is dependency injection, setter based dependency injection, constructor based dependency injection. One very very important concept is Java based configuration. When I learned Java based configuration, initially I didn't understand what is the purpose of it. Already we are using annotation. Then what is the point of Java based configuration? The main purpose of Java based configuration is to create objects for inbuilt classes. Spring is supporting us to connect to the database. Spring is supporting us to perform authentication. In all these scenarios, we are working with the inbuilt classes and interfaces of Spring framework. So I cannot create object of those classes. Then I can go in for Java based configurations. So using Maven, whatever you have learned, you can do the same thing with boot. Now let me start with Spring Boot. In Spring Boot, you have to start with IOC. You in IOC, whatever you have done, all these topics you completed. Then the next part is, before jumping into data-jpa, just for your understanding, you can learn how to integrate your application with database using JDBC. Okay, from your Spring application, you will be using JDBC to integrate to the database. Guys, in certain places, they are not using it, but it is better to know that. The next step is MVC. What we have seen is a simple application in our 15 days mastery. Above that, what exactly is needed? I should know how to develop a web application, right? So meaning to say that I should have a front end form. If somebody is entering the form and if I click submit button, I should know how to get the values in my controller class and how to store it in the database. So if you should know how to develop a web application, what are the annotations that are used with the web application. We have seen only one or two, like we have seen like at controller and at request mapping, get mapping. You have used request param in REST API, but more than that are there. So you should know how to retrieve the values. What is the flow? It goes from page A to page B, come back to page A, then page B to page C, come back to page C. Like that, you should know the flow. Whatever I am telling you are, they are all the next level what you need to learn after 15 days of Spring Boot mastery. So you can slowly move on into it. Then next is data-jpa. Data-jpa, I have completely given a bird's eye view, like how to connect to the database, then what are the different types of queries. Now, on top of it, you should know how to integrate your application. If your application is having associations, that is connections. My one employee has one address. Employee has a list of courses. The relationship is many to many. One course has many employees, one employee has many courses, one employee has one address. Similarly, one employee has many insurance. So this is one to one, this is many to many, this is one to many. Many employees belong to one department. So these things you need to know how to use association, how to work with stored procedures. These topics you need to know. This is whatever I am giving is a roadmap to Spring framework. So these are the topics in data-jpa. Now let me just rub this part. Next is Spring REST API. REST API we have seen, we have actually done a very nice application. We have seen how to develop a REST API and we have learned how to integrate it with the database, backend database. Together with that, you should know how to handle exception in a REST API and how to use response entity, which is very, very important. And together with that, you should know how to generate document for your application. What is the purpose of document? Guys, I will tell you that also. Documentation using Open API, which is Swagger. Earlier it was Swagger, now it is Open API. So this is about REST API. Now next is, let us move on to the next one. It is Spring Security. Means authenticating. I am taking it step by step. First, standalone application, then integrating with the database, then web application integrating with the database, then REST API. REST API also integrating with database, with DB and testing it. Okay, we have covered this, we have done it. Okay, these things you need to go through. Then security. Security already in the program itself, I have explained what are the different types of security. Here, exclusively, you should know how to work with JWT and OAuth. OAuth is used by most of the websites. JWT is combines hands on hands together with OAuth. The purpose of using JWT is because when you are working in enterprise applications, there are scenarios where the user data gets lost. To avoid that, we are using JWT where the token will come and sit in your client's machine itself. This is for the security part. Then what next? Next is containerizing your application. That is using Docker. So you have to be well versed in Docker. I would suggest after Docker, you can proceed further for Kubernetes. The people who are working in production, if you are a fresher, guys, don't have to go there. It is enough, you can stop here. If you are an experienced person, it is mandatory that you have to proceed further to understand what is Kubernetes and how to containerize your application using Kubernetes. That is deploying it. Okay. Now the whole setup of Spring is done. Is this enough? No, it is not enough for Java full stack. You have to go to microservices. In microservices, any idea about microservices? Anybody has worked in microservices? Microservices, my dear guys, it is the trend. Now it is what is going to happen going forward. Every other application will be a microservice application. But again, now what I read actually is people prefer to move on to monolithic application because it is very difficult to handle microservice applications. That is what I'm hearing it. But it is mandatory if you are looking in for job, you should know about microservices, the different components of microservices, the design patterns of microservices. All these are mandatory stuff to know. Yeah. Oh, very nice. So, guys, and I will tell you, I have been doing microservices from 2019 because most of the corporates they ask for exclusively for microservices. I have done microservices training for experienced people in Harman, State Street, which is a financial company. But remember, whatever microservices you are learning together with us, with any trainer of that matter, or from the internet, there will be subtle changes when you are going into the corporate. Because why I wanted to tell you is the microservices I have done for many fresher batches. We do it on our own concern. But when we are doing it for experienced guys, they have many challenges. During that time, when I told like this is how we do, then they said certain components they will not use open source because State Street is a financial company and Society General also is a financial company. They don't use the open source registry, rather they will build their own in-house registry. Okay, first let me give you a quick idea about microservice. What is a microservice? One single application, I am converting it into a suite of small services. Okay, what does an e-commerce application have? We all discuss so many times. An e-commerce application has different objects. That is, it has got, I'm selling products. So product module will be there. I'm a customer module will be there. Billing module will be there. Order module will be there. Cart module will be there. All put together, whole thing is one single application, which is a monolithic application. All modules deployed into one single WAR file or EAR file, enterprise RQ file. That is called as a monolithic architecture that is getting deployed in the server. In case of microservices, we will be having based on the functionality, or there are different design patterns. So based on the functionality or subdomains or databases, I am dividing one single application into a suite of smaller services. As in, I will have product as a separate microservice, order as a separate microservice, billing as microservice, user as separate microservice. They will connect to each other. It's like your team, guys. In your team, you are having 8 people. You will have your own team lunch, your own way of working with. You will not mingle with the other teams. If somebody is connecting with you, you will just give the data whatever is required. So here, connection between these two also is like, so this is one, this is one, this is one. All these teams put together becomes one single application. And here, how they talk to each other, either using JSON, that is language independent data. It can be in any format, but now I am showing it as JSON. Earlier, if it is one single application, you all know, I can work only if the other person completes. Till that time, I need to wait. After he gives me the data, then I can start with my work. The coupling between the components is tight, but here it is not there. I finish my data, I will give it to you. You use it in whichever way you want, just like a REST API. So, what is that you need to do in learn in microservice? What is microservice? Why we are going in for microservice? Design patterns. Then there is something called as 12-factor app. You can go and browse and search for 12-factor app. Microservices came into structure because of a problem that occurred in Netflix. Netflix is the one which started with the microservice architecture. So you can just browse about that. You can also browse about this guy called as Martin Fowler, who coined the term microservices. You can also learn about 12-factor app. What are the necessities of microservices? You can take a pic of this. One more, what is that? Netflix. Netflix only came into, started with this. Now, in this microservices, what are the topics that I need to learn? Because when I started with microservices, there was literally no material. So now actually many materials are available, but none of the materials are highly relevant. So you have to follow a proper structure. When we go to one place, they give one topic. In another corporate, they give another topic. So you need to follow a proper structure. If you follow this pattern, you will be able to learn microservice. First, these 4 topics. Then next is you need to understand. I want to create a microservice. For that, first I need a service registry. This is what I told. When I am teaching service registry, I will use either Eureka, which is an open source. I have not used Console. Many companies use Console, which is a service registry. What is the meaning of microservice registry? Here, all the microservices are there. They have to register themselves to the service registry. So, learn about service registry. Learn how to create microservice. Then, how to call one microservice from another one. That is call microservice. Then, how to handle fault. That is fault tolerance. Then, what is gateway API? Then what is load balancer? That is client side load balancer. Then declarative client. What is a declarative client? And very important is what is a cloud config server? Then other than that, there is also one more important thing. How to call your microservice application from an external application. It can be a React application, it can be a web application, it can be any application of that matter from an external application. So guys, here when you talk about fault, Eureka, this fault tolerance, all that were given by Netflix OSs. But now you cannot use that. You have to use Resilience 4J here. Gateway API, you will be using Spring Cloud. And then client side load balancer also is provided by Spring. You can use Ribbon also. Here you can use Fiend. Then this is the basic part. For microservices, if you want to switch, microservices is mandatory. This is the basic part. On top of it, you should also learn about 9, 10, Sleuth, 11, Zipkin, and 12. Many corporates are using this ELK, Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana, this stack. So these are the things that are needed if you have to learn about microservices. This is the complete setup of microservices. So this is not a separate one. This is a part of full stack, because I have seen in many of the companies the job description expects microservices also. Even at least if you are not going into this part, you should know till this one. Like how you can call a microservice application from a front end application. That is the end one, right? And how to work with cloud config server, everything. And in certain places, they don't use the service registry. Rather, they deploy each and every microservice in Docker itself, and they make them talk to each other within themselves. No registry. Within themselves, they need to talk. So these are the things that is very much important for microservices. Okay. So I think we have covered the backend part. So to put it simple, Java, Spring, microservices. Okay, this is mandatory. Any questions? Oh, so many questions. Sorry, I have not. Okay, microservice communication. The last one, which one? Can you please repeat? Sorry, I just saw the message. Okay, someone has done using microservice. That is great, actually. Good to hear that. ORM means object relational mapping. ORM means object relational mapping. That is, a Java object is converted into a database table, actually a record. That is the meaning. What is Hibernate? Hibernate is a framework which is using this ORM. In case of Hibernate, we will not be using SQL query at all. So I will explain it with a very simple example. That is, suppose if I am using Java, means I want to insert data. So what I will do, I will use scanner or something, some blah blah stuff to get the name, ID, department and city. Then I will write the SQL query like a string SQL is equal to insert into employee, and I have to pass all this. Correct? So I'll pass name, comma, ID, comma, department, comma, city. Assume these are all variables. I have retrieved the employee values. Sorry, I missed one. Values. Okay. Then after writing this, using prepared statement, you will write ps dot execute. As you will create a connection dot prepare statement by passing the SQL query, and then prepared statement dot execute. So here execute explicitly, you are writing the SQL query. Okay, if I have to do the same thing using an ORM framework, assume I have an employee class with the name, employee ID, department and city. Now I am using Hibernate. If I am using Hibernate, first is I will create a factory. Factory means it is like a what is that? A factory of sessions. Now you all are accessing your bank details, right? So when you log into your bank, I am also logging into the same bank with my credentials. So it means one session is created for you, one session is created for me. So that particular portal is like a factory of multiple sessions. So in one session factory, I can have multiple sessions. One for Priya, one for Raj, one for Ram, like that. The moment I enter into ICICI Bank, I want to pay my phone bill. Then I want to pay my electricity bill. Then I want to check. So what is that? Each and everything is called as a transaction. One transaction, credit card bill. Then I am checking my balance. Then I'm checking whether I'm paying the EMI for something. So I am just doing it. So one factory having many sessions, one session is having many transactions. Now, once the session is created for a particular session, so this is how you work, okay? So you create a session. Now, what I have to do, if I want to save this employee, I don't have to create a prepared statement. No need to create a statement. No need to create a connection. Who will do that? Hibernate will do that. If you notice in Spring also, we are not sitting and writing the username, URL, password programmatically. Everything we are giving it in the properties file. Automatically the data is taken in and it is performing the operation. Here also, simply I will write only one single line, session.save, and I will pass the employee object. When you write this, Hibernate, what it will do is first it will go and check in the database. You have given the URL, username and password. So it will go to the appropriate database. It will check whether there is a table in the class name. So here your class will be annotated with that entity, just like how we have done in Spring. It will check whether there is a table with this particular class name. If it is not there, it will create a table. Then after that, what about the columns? Whatever instance variables you have given, they will become columns. Then after that, after adding the columns, now because you have given session.save, this employee object will be converted into one single row in the database table. This is how it works actually. This is Hibernate is a ORM framework, object relational mapping framework. Together with Hibernate, there is also one thing called as IBATIS. IBATIS. That is also an ORM framework. Okay. So guys, I hope this is clear. And so this is for the backend part. Now, already I have told you the tools, like you need to know how to use Maven, how to work with Git. Experience guys, you might be knowing both. So this is the backend part. Now, what about the front end? Now, coming to the front end, in case of front end, I don't have to tell much. You all know, you should know how to use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then React. In case of React is a front-end library. You should know how to create components, how to use React with Redux. Okay, React with Redux. So while working with React, what I would suggest is like you should know how to work with basic applications, native React also you should know. Where I have done certain applications without using the backend part at all, like how to develop web pages. So once you know how to develop and create web pages using React, interacting from the front end to the backend will be same easier. If you are using Angular uses MVC architecture. While working with React also, you can follow the same MVC architecture. You can make your React application integrate with the backend REST API. So now, how your application looks like. This is your backend part. In the backend part, you have created your Spring REST API or microservices. It can be anything. Spring REST APIs. Now, the front end will be your React application. Now, from front end to the backend, it is nothing but an API call. It has to make an API call. A request comes in. We have learned it many times. A request comes in, a request comes in. From where it is coming in? It is coming from the React application, or it can be from any web application also. If I have to tell it in another way, assume this is a payment gateway. Then the front-end application can be like Zomato or Swiggy or Myntra. It can be any kind of application which you can just make a backend call and you can perform these operations. Now, let me go to the slide back. Yeah, microservices is available in my channel, but actually it's a old one. Part of it will work because the registry, everything is same, but fault tolerance, API gateway, now they are all obsolete. So I'm just coming up with a course for microservices. So now I told you already. So what are the topics that we need to see? Quickly, I'll just go through it. Hibernate and framework is Hibernate and Spring Boot. So here in core Java, you need to know OOPS, collection, strings API, concurrency API, JDBC. In frameworks, Hibernate, Spring Framework, Spring Boot, REST API. Then testing tools, unit testing. Then build tool is Maven, Gradle. Gradle, certain places they are using, but I have not worked with that. Because JavaScript people, they prefer to use Gradle than Maven. Version control is Git. Then DevOps, again Git, Jenkins, AWS, Docker, Kubernetes already we have seen. So this is how your full stack application looks like. These are the technologies that you need to learn. Always, as I told you, start from the back end only. If you start with the front end, you will lose hope like when you move on to Java. If you are very good working in Java, first make yourself strong in the back end technologies and frameworks, as in Spring, Spring Boot, microservices, Kubernetes. Okay, I'm just adding that also. It is mandatory. Once you have done completed the backend part, microservices, I have given you the topics, what are the things that you need to learn. Once you have completed, come to the front end. Front end, obviously, you might be learning, knowing HTML, CSS. How to learn and how to learn front end and how to learn back end. I'll tell you the tips. Now, I will tell you one small tip. This is a very important tip if you are learning the front end part and back end part. See what struggles I had, I'm just sharing it with you. So when you are learning the back end part, see many people say that like, oh no, you have to start it as a project. No, you start it as a Java project saying that I'm going to build this application and then you continue. Like say for example, I'm going to create a calculator application and then you start teaching it. No, that is not the right approach. In my way of teaching, it is not the right approach. First, I need to understand concepts. In case of Java, the backend part, you should be very, very strong in concepts, be it Java or Spring, because they are backend. Why I am talking about concepts? Because once you are very good in concepts, when we teach the freshers, we talk about inheritance, we talk about, I just literally squeeze them to do the JDBC project. But when you come to Spring and data-jpa, you are not even writing a single line of code in case of data-jpa. Correct, no? But they will ask me, why the hell did you just ask us to do all that JDBC project? The idea is, if you are very strong in that part, when you go into the advanced concepts, it is very easy and you can develop your applications. My dear guys, the structure, the framework, everything will be taken care by Spring framework. I still know few developers who struggle not knowing where the error is, because when we do the application, it is because you always use the content assist to do those things and you will not know why that particular constructor is not added, why it is not coming correctly. The reason is we are not good in concepts. Directly we jump into applications. But I have seen freshers, or I have seen people who do the training completely, starting with the concepts and then moving on to the examples. They are really, really very good in doing that, because everywhere the concepts are same. The logic alone differs in case of Java or Spring Boot. So you have to be strong in concepts. Yeah. Coming to the front end part. What about front end? Front end is always learn by doing. You have to first decide, okay, fine, I'm going to do this web page, I'm going to do this application. Like that, first you decide what you want to do. Then you start working on that. Okay, this is the way that you need to learn, especially React. When I started learning React or Angular, I struggled because I, as a backend developer, this most of you experienced guys, you might be feeling it. You can just relate it with me. When you start learning backend, it is very easy because you are very good in logical skills, you are very good in analytical skills. Just like that, it will go into your mind because you know this is this, A, B, C, D, like that only. But when you move on to front end, they will take components from here, from everywhere, and they'll just put together, fix all the pieces. Now, tada, your image is ready. That's how the front end looks like. So, in case of front end, you should not start with concepts. You should decide what is the application you want to do. Then start working on that application. Start building the components step by step. In case of backend, first I need to know, I have to create a plan. Then based on the plan, then I'll start, okay, I have to understand, okay, this much amount is needed of cement is needed, these are the interiors that I'm going to do. Everything should be fixed and then you will be moving on to examples. Front end is not like that at all. It is like a jumbled piece. You have to take the pieces, put on together so that you are getting your complete application. Okay. Any queries in this? Any questions you guys want to ask? Yes? Now I will move on to the next topic actually. So I have shown you what are the skills and technologies that you need to learn. We have seen the step-by-step roadmap. It is mandatory. So what are the topics that you need to learn? Now I will start with the tips and tricks. And also I want to show you my one application which I have integrated with the front end. Sorry, what is the last sentence I told you? I forgot here. Which one? About the front end and the back end part? Yeah. See, in case of backend, always start with the concepts. Understand the concepts. Based on the concept, do one application. Then proceed further for doing an application. Don't jump into doing application directly because you will not know the underlying concepts. Yeah, in case of Eclipse or Spring Toolsuit, automatically if you go to source and generate getter setters, it is creating it for you. Even for instance variables, I am seeing people adding it in uppercase. In case of Spring Boot, it will not work at all. So only if you are very good in the concepts, you will be able to crack an example. You will be able to do a proper application. In case of front end, it is not like that. Front end, it's all tags and concepts are minute. So when you are doing only when you are doing a project, you will be able to understand that particular concept. I now I want to create a web page like Zomato first page. So in that case, what are the components I need to build? How I have to build the components? Likewise, you have to decide it. Yeah. Now, yes, sure. I'm going to show you an integration between React and Spring Boot, not Angular. Angular, I have left it long ago. Maybe like 2022, I told you, like long back we have done with Angular, but now I have got one application. Maybe I can show it to you. Now I want to, yeah, I want to know what are the websites that you guys follow for blogs or for, I mean, for tips. What are the websites you follow? I will tell you certain websites. Yes. What are the few websites you follow? You can share your share it in the chat window also. Okay. Anybody has heard about how to do in Java? This guy is amazing. Yeah, Java T point. See, if you are a fresher, if you have watched my video, now what I would suggest is Java T point, tutorials point, W3 school, they are all basic. Now you are one level above that. So I would suggest few websites which you can try it out. Spring Boot tutorial. I'll share few websites. So maybe you can just take it. How to do in Java. This guy. How to do in Java. Then Java in 28 minutes. This one, this guy. Then one of my favorite is Spring Boot tutorial. But remember, whenever you are searching and you are trying to resolve your errors, always remember, I forgot this name. His name is like something like, I forgot his name. This also is good. This for specific errors only. You cannot take it as a tutorial. If you are having any doubt, if you search for it, then sometimes his answers work. Now, Spring tutorial 5 or something kind of, I forgot his name. It comes in a green color. That guy is really very amazing. He is to the point. Latest ones and all you can learn from him. Like, I don't know. He comes with the like his face. I mean, some image also is given. So, and in case of if you are looking in for experience guys, if you are looking in for more advanced things like certain what is it? I don't know, like few concepts I have seen from him. Java Brains. Have you heard about Java Brains?
Yes, ma'am.
Java Brains. So he is also very good. So you can go through that also. Fine. Now, now let me show you. Let me show you one simple application which we will try to deploy. Okay, I don't know, but actually, Java Brains yeah, somebody was asking about JWT also. Like, if you're interested, you can just go and watch that, but it's not in a complete sequence. Few parts at least you can just watch. See, not all the places you will be seeing the complete flow. In certain places, the flow will be missing. It's up to you how you are going to take it. Now, let me show you an application. I'm making an API call to the front end. Now, I hope you all can see my screen. This is the application which I have got. Spring Book app. This is for a book application, okay? Just like how we have done earlier, the same thing. I'm having a model class. Let me start with the model class. This is a model class annotated with the entity. Okay, so that time my Lombok was not working, so I have added getter setter methods. Then after that, I'm handling errors, so I have added an API errors class. Then same as usual, I'm having an exception. Then coming to the service layer, iBook service. So these are few methods which I'm having, which is implemented in book service IMPL. In book service IMPL, I'm auto wiring book repository also. You can see this methods. Yeah, done. Now next is like let me go to the controller class. The controller class, as usual, you all know we have done certain parts. Like the return type here is not a list of book, but it is response entity. What now I want my application to be accessed by a particular front end. So what is the URL which can access my application? A request whichever is coming from the front end should come only from this particular URL. I hope you can understand this, right? So cross origin request, if I don't allow this particular URL, none of the applications can access me. We are testing it using Postman. That is okay, fine. But when we are creating it as an application, React also runs separately in a different server. It is running in port number 5173. So from that application, I am trying to connect to this application. So in that case, this fellow should allow request that is coming from localhost 5173. Okay, so this is my application which is ready. Now what I will do is like, let me run this. So the application is up and running. It is running in port number 8081. Can you see this? I missed one thing, that is JPA, Java Persistence API. Hibernate is an implementation of JPA. We are using only Hibernate, correct? Yeah. Now, what next? 8081, it is running. Now we don't have to test it in Postman also. So let me, if you want, I can just show you. I have tested it in Postman. So it's showing me the list of books in the console also. Some books, okay. Now, what happened is like I had my book, this one is ready. Now, in the front end, now let me go to the front end. This is my list of book. If you notice here, language, publisher, image and all is null. Earlier, I had an application where I have added everything, but now it is null because I am deleting database, creating a new database. Whenever I'm going from one place to another place, everything is mess. So here you can see it has automatically added and it has given me null values. Now let me show you the front end part. This is my VS Code. Guys, I told you no. When I started with like, I created many applications, like kind of different applications to understand how React works. Simple applications like creating tic-tac-toe, creating just a poster, all that first you do in React, then move on to integrating your application with the backend. But remember, it's not like learning ABCD, directly jump into the application. Only then you will understand. Okay, so this is my application which I have created in React. Will connect to the backend. Let me close all. So here I have created it as a component. Now there are so many cart, gift, everything is there. Here also explicitly I have created a service layer. From the service layer of this application, I am going to make an API call to the backend. Here you can see this. What is the URL? Localhost colon 8081 / book API / v1 / books. Now I want to retrieve all the books. So the method that I can give is fetch all books and the URL that we have passed here. And it has to return me data, response.data. Can you see this? And I can get by ID, get by category I have given, it seems okay. Get by category. I can add a book, update book, get all books, get by ID, get by category. See the URL, just like how we are giving it in Postman, here I have given it, all these places. Now, coming up to the next part, this service layer is called by some class. Let me check here. Here I have got it, get all books. Await fetch all books, the method which is there in the service layer. I am trying to call it. Okay. Now we need to run this. Okay, let me select my application, control tilde to open the terminal. Terminal is open or not? Right click, open an integrated terminal. Oh, okay. Routing all. Yeah. Here, npm run dev. Now let me click on this. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, I will just share it. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is my application, guys. So everything is a component. I have created it as a component, sign up, sign in and all. Okay, but something is missing. Let me refresh. Wait a minute. Like I think I have called some other application. Control C. Yes, enter. Hmm. Yes, this is the one. Okay. Okay, select. Now I think this one. Let me run this. npm run dev. I don't know which one. Like, let me check. This is which application? Let me check. Slash books. Okay. So guys, let me. Everything is open the same. Actually, all the portals are same. So it is 5173. Okay. Can you see this one? I told you, the image and the photo is missing. So now technically it has made a call to the backend. Can you see this? These are the books that I'm having. Java in action and all that. Learn photography, HTML in action, leadership, 5 a.m. club, right? So the same books are shown over here. Can you see this? 5 a.m. club secret. The same books are shown over here. I think I have done some few more also. Let me click on show details. I'm not sure though. See, the URL has come as book details /56. I have not done that, it seems then. Okay. So the moment I open my application, it is showing me the list of books, right? Okay. All books. Let me check with none of the other things are done. So I have just done only till this part. Okay, show details also I remember doing it, but I don't know. Like order now and show details. The ID is taken to the backend. If you notice, the ID is taken to the backend, authors are taken to the backend. So how exactly you are going to write it here in the service layer? Let me check how many methods I have done. This is done last year, not new one. Get by ID is there. So it should come to printing the books. No, I don't have it, guys, actually. Yeah. Search is there. Okay, we are not making a call. Only 2 calls I have done. One is getting the list of books by ID. The other one is just showing all the books. One more application also I'm having. Let me check that. Please bear with me. Now I will open my control tilde. Delete it. React. The other one is without anything I have done. Let me open an integrated terminal. npm. To run the application, it is run dev. Let me click on books. So this also returning the same books. The same application without anything. Maybe I will search for category. Let me check. I'm not sure though. It's working. See, category Java in action and Kathy. I have got some category as self-help. Copied it. Come here. Self-help. Search. Yeah. So self-help books have come. And also camera, something like cameras also I have. Cameras. Yeah. Can you see this? View details. Very nice. View details. So I have done 3 URLs. So first is clicking on the books to list all the books. All the books are listed. Then like I want to see one particular book, then I can go and click on view details. This is what actually calling book by ID. How do you do in Amazon? Same way, book by ID. Now if I want to add to cart, then I have to add to cart and proceed further. So that I have not done. Now search by author and category. I saw that I have written method only for category. So let me give self-help. Then click search. It is showing only the books for self-help. Let me click view details. It is showing the complete path. Is this clear, guys? Everybody? Yeah. Any questions you want to ask? Okay. I would like to know a few more things. Like how many of you were able to complete successfully without any guidance, whatever challenge we took? Yes? Let me share a poll. I need few suggestions from you. Like you can suggest me few topics for YouTube. Like what are the topics that you are expecting for YouTube? Yes? Could you please hear me? Share in the chat window. You can share the topics that what you are expecting in YouTube. Design patterns, React, microservices, Java 8 I have already given. Many topics of Java 8 is there. Yeah, full stack, I'm planning for a 30 days videos. But my dear guys, to be very frank, 30 days means 30 hours. Usually we do full stack for 30 into 8. So now I can give a bird's eye view of all the topics, I mean, whatever is there and how it can be covered. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay, fine. Now, yeah, Spring Boot with React. Now, actually, like, how many of you? Yeah, very nice. Cover Zookeeper. Yeah. And how many of you have completed till that all the 15 days? Yeah, Core Java, it's pending. Earlier, long ago, I have taken one, but I want to do a brand new Core Java series. So I'm planning for that also. How many of you have taken the full series? Completed the full series? Oh, very nice. 15 days. So, and are you feeling confident that you can take up any Spring Boot project? Yeah, very nice. Very nice. So, yeah, no problem. Like, so you can work on it. Guys, actually, like I'm coming up with a new plan. This is my offer. So, I am planning to build a private inner community for ourselves. So, let me just share it with you. Yeah, very good. So, how was it like, Vedan? Was it good? See, actually, I will tell you, learning is a journey. Now also I am learning. It's not that I am learning from books or anything. I am also taking help of certain videos, certain blogs, but I will take from here and there. Based on my learning, I want to put it in a structured format. So I have got my own courses which I have created in my portal, and it is available in a structured format only. The same way, a part of it, like it's not complete, a part of it I have given it as 15 days video just to give the flow. In my portal, it will be in an advanced format. Now, guys, I want to start with, yes, technical books. So what are the books? Any books? So if you want to learn Spring, there is one nice book, Spring in Action. Okay, and guys, more than one important thing which I wanted to tell, which I had this problem is in 2017, 18 and all, many blogs were there. So when we try to follow the blogs, the problem is with the version. Each one will have their own version. So when you are working with Spring, that's what I told. If you are learning microservices, please don't watch the latest part of microservices. That is, first initial 1, 2, 3 videos are fine. Remaining videos will not work for you because they are in different versions. So when you're reading a blog, when you're watching a video, check for the version what they have used. Based on that, you have to work. It is not only for others, including mine. I'm just telling it. Okay. Now, what I want is I want to bring up, create our own community where every week I want to provide you with the Q&A sessions, like and some webinars. Like, so let me just share it with you. I hope you can see my screen, but this is a paid one. Can you guess what will be the offer? So every week we will have a Q&A call on Saturdays, so that like you can come, you can ask questions, like we can discuss it for 1 hour, and then it's a private community. Just now, till now, whatever community we had, like I saw many people, you were asking your questions and doubts. Many people, I mean, this is a community where you can just connect with people of like-minded people. You can share your queries. There are people to support you. So can you just tell me what can be the price? Just a guess. Every week, every Saturday, I will have a Q&A call with you guys, like whoever is in the part of the community. And whenever I'm adding new courses, I'm just creating mini courses. So you will get an offer on the courses and coaching. Coaching is about Java full stack, so that is a separate part. And this is a private community only for us, like where you can build, you can connect with like-minded people. Together with that, I will also provide you with one free career counseling session. Any guess for this? This is a paid community. Any guess? Anybody? Yeah, I will do a basic project also for Java, maybe going forward. Yeah, tell me. Okay, anyone interested to be a part of this community? Okay, let me share you the offer directly. Okay, so this is my offer, guys. So I will tell you what actually you will get it. This is 999 plus GST. I'll tell you very clearly the purpose of this community. I was really inspired and motivated by this 15 days challenge, what people have done. So I want to provide certain offers free. So every day we will have a Q&A call. Then this is a private community where you can connect with many developers, experienced people. You can exchange your thoughts and everything. And one thing, another thing, if you are a fresher and if you want to have a career counseling, one free career counseling session will be provided to you, and about how you can learn, what you can learn. Number 2. Number 3, we are also, but not, it is in the pipeline, we are also planning for free webinars, regular webinars by industry experts. So who can come and talk about the latest developments which is happening. Maybe one session about Kubernetes by a person who is working in the same field, who is working in Kubernetes. Likewise, we are just planning on this. So anybody interested? So this is only for people who have completed, who have joined this 15 days challenge. I have not given it in Instagram also. Only for my WhatsApp group, I have just shared this offer. Yes. Once you have, I mean, I will share you the link also. Once you have shared, you have joined this community, then we can have that interaction in that community. So from 15 days Spring Boot Mastery, that is different. This is a 15 days community, and few other videos that I will be sharing. I will be unlisting in YouTube, and I will be sharing it only with the community members. Let me share my link. So you have suggested some topics. If you are a self-learner, if you are an experienced person, yeah, that I'm going to start. 30 days full stack, I will be starting. It is in YouTube only. So, sure, you tell me, you share me what are the challenges you want. So, in the pipeline, I have 30 days full stack challenge. And the queries for this and everything will be only for the people who are in my community, because I know like I am just little bit straightforward, but the time and the amount that I have taken for all the queries and everything, of course I do have my own trainings and other stuff, so I'm just limiting to my only to my community. Okay, collection framework, and few ask for Spring interview questions. Yes, design patterns, sure. Then few more also they told like, see, actually, when I say 30 days challenge, again, I told you very clearly. 30 days means only 30 hours. So within 30 hours, I will be giving only a bird's eye view. 30 days, usually we do the same thing for 60 days, 8 hours or 6 hours, you just think. So 60 into 6, so 360 hours you need it actually. So some more Spring Boot AI. I'll just keep all this in mind, and the queries, the Q&A for all these, I can do it only in the community part. Yeah, I do have a recorded paid courses for Spring, for Java, Hibernate, REST API. For Java full stack completely it is available, except leaving React. For every other thing it is available. For Spring, I have nearly 100 videos. I'm also adding few more videos relevant to reactive web, then Elasticsearch. Microservices, I'm coming with a brand new course because I don't want to go with the older courses. Yeah, I will share the link of that also too. Yes, this is the link of my courses. And also I will link, I have shared the link of the Razorpay here to Manoj alone, like somehow got mixed up. So guys, how was the session? I hope it went on well. Any messages? Any feedback from your side? This is the link to join the community. And please share your mail IDs also in the WhatsApp group so that like I can add your mail IDs to the community. Like while paying itself, you can add the mail IDs also. So that like when I'm adding an email sequence or any specific topics, like we can just connect. Sure, sure. I will share it in the WhatsApp group also. And how was the session? I hope like today only we are all interacting together. So how was the session? I want to do more like because to be very frank, most of you by your messages, you inspired me to do a lot, literally a lot. So I have put so much of effort in doing these videos, especially December end will be a free period for everybody, right? A holiday season for everybody. But still, because of your motivation only, I was able to do, and I want to give back more also. Like based on the topics that you have given, I'll add it in YouTube. And guys, please do bear with me. The advanced part of whatever you are learning will be available in courses only. And also I do a coaching. If you want to know more about the coaching, maybe I can share the link. I will share all the details in the WhatsApp group. I mean 999 plus GST. That's what I have given, 999 plus GST. This is for 6 months. That also let me just tell you. This is for 6 months because you might not need my assistance or anything maybe after 6 months. If you feel, then after that if you want to continue, or you may feel that it is a waste of time maybe. So this is for 6 months. Going forward, I am coming with the courses for microservices, React. Already my full stack course is available. Spring is available. I am adding more content into Spring. Any more questions you guys want to ask?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon, first of all.
Yeah.
And first of all, ma'am, thank you so much for this wonderful series, like the 15 days challenge. Because what happened, I'm also thinking okay, like to do something before the end of the 2024 year, right? So
Yeah.
on the time I saw your video, right? So it's related to Spring Boot and microservices. We have something challenges and all. So that's why I accepted. And side by side, like daily when I just starting to do something, right? So on that time I feel like yes, we need to do something, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the courage regarding this one, like your daily to daily, the videos you are putting on YouTube, and we have to accept that challenge, right? So, it's my target like that, right? So, wonderful. Like, first of all, thank you once again for this. And your pictorial representation, that's make different, I think, apart from other YouTuber who are there in YouTube. So yes, ma'am. Keep it, and also congratulations for you because you have like 9K now
Yeah,
subscribers.
thank you so much.
So
Actually, yeah,
yeah,
thank you so much. That is because of participants like you, people like you. See, every day, you literally you won't believe, every day when I get up, first I just open the comments, I answer the comments, it gives me a happiness. And within, to be very frank, I have been adding videos for certain specific videos. All my videos are specific videos because when I go to a corporate, when I deal with, say, they say how to integrate your, how to call a stored procedure from Spring Boot, or how to connect with my batters. This is for one startup. So I want to immediately share it to the participants. I share it, but I don't get any views that much. But
yes,
now this time, literally 1,000 participants have increased within this 15 days. I am not bothered about that, but I was very happy because of the interaction and people coming and saying that they have learned something. So that is the best part. Thank you so much to you. So you have been motivating a lot, literally, in all these.
yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
And do share, as you told, like you can even share your comments in LinkedIn, like if you are interested, and like you can, that is also great.
Yes, ma'am. Sure, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, be a part of this community. And if you guys are experienced, you can share your. I mean, we can have a webinar with you guys also. Maybe you can be mentors for other people. I am planning to call my students. Like I've been doing training from 2007, but a good connect with the participants came only from 2012 because they insisted me to join in Facebook, and I'm still having connect with them. So maybe I can invite them to talk about a specific topic where they are working in, so that will be really interesting. So please do be a part of your community. Any other feedback? Anything you guys want to share?
Yeah, hi ma'am. This is Gauri Shankar, this side.
Mm.
Currently, I'm working in Cognizant, ma'am. Actually, I'm not working on Java.
Mm.
So I just want to switch the job. I do have around experience of 3 years,
Mm.
I didn't work on Java. I am currently working in SAP.
Mm.
So is it possible to switch
It's
in later
very
part?
much possible. It is very much possible. I can 200% guarantee you. Because see,
Yeah,
I have been seeing students who are coming from different fields excelling so much after the training. So I think you can just connect with me in WhatsApp. I will share you a link. My team will help you out to give the details about how you can switch. It
yeah.
is.
I just joined your career like this career counseling session.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I
See,
I just
that
joined
that
this.
that I will give you separately. That is also there. But together with that, you can book a one-on-one call. Like I will share the details to you. You just send me a message in WhatsApp. Once you book a call, maybe I will just check whether this link is given to me. I'll check. Give me a sec.
Okay.
Yeah, the book call. Okay, I will share the link. I will give the form details. Like I will share it here. Whoever wants to book a one-on-one call about the course, about this coaching, you can just connect with my team. They will support you, they will help you out, discussing about what can be done. Guys, I will tell you one important thing. If you are from a different background, if you are working in support, if you are in a development in a different thing, if you want to switch to Java full stack, it can be very well done. I can 200% guarantee you, provided you are having the attitude and you can just put some time and effort to learn. Because I have seen many people as freshers without knowing anything, coming from a normal college, they have shined so very well. The only thing is, you need to, if you're ready to put 1 hour or 1.5 hours of time every day, then that will be great.
Yeah, man. I do have another doubt. Like, I have around three years experience, right? Should I tell the interviewer like I do have experience in
Yes,
different
yes,
domain,
yes.
or in Java? I need to say.
Not required at all. See, I mean, you fill the form, you connect with my team, they will show you on BSL. See, I will tell you like, if you are having your portfolio very nicely, you can very well change it. I can guarantee you. Because my latest training was in Oya, which is a financial company in, Oya Finance. You would have heard about it. Earlier, it was BFI SLK in Bangalore. So there I have seen people who are coming from career break here. Like you are all working. Then what career break, they have taken effort, they have done a project. You need to do a project, your solid project. It's not only me who will be guiding you. We have got few industry experts who will come and guide you in the end, like for preparing interviews, for creating a great resume, and also one more thing, like making your portfolio look good. Like you will have a full stack application, just like what I have shown. I have shown as a very basic part, like you will be building it on your own. Then you can project yourself saying that you are a full stack developer. It's not an issue at all.
Okay, thank you.
You can get the details, you can fill the form. Guys, whoever is interested, you can fill the form and you will get a one-on-one counseling, one-on-one session with my team. If you are interested in, if you, three things here. If you are a person who is a self learner and who is already working in Java and Spring Boot, you join the community, you attend the Q&A sessions daily. You want to upskill yourself, you are a self learner means, then again I would suggest you can go and check my portal. You can buy any of the courses which are available over there. I will be uploading courses again and again. If you are a fresher or if you want to switch careers, I would suggest you take the connect with my team, take a one-on-one session, understand where you are. Based on that, you can decide what you want to take.
So, ma'am,
Okay,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah,
ma'am,
Manoj.
I have recently joined in the 15 days challenge, ma'am,
Okay.
and I have strong foundational skills in the front end and core Java, ma'am.
Yeah, very good. Okay. Okay.
So
So you,
present, I am focusing on Spring and Spring Boot, ma'am, but I am confusing in the concepts like IOC, dependency injection.
Mm. So so what I would suggest is you have completed the course.
No,
No. Okay. So
no,
what you can do
15
is
days
first
challenge is not completed, ma'am. Still, I am in third or fourth video, ma'am.
you take time to complete it. You please do join the community. Every week we will have a Q&A session. We will take one topic. If you are having any doubts, you can just ask me the doubts. I will help you out. Number one. Number two, once you have completed this challenge, you can decide what is the next step. And in during while doing this, if you are having any errors, you are getting errors. If you are in the community, people will be there to help you, and I will also guide you what you can do.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
See, because why? See, I am not projecting, coaching for you, because you said you're already good in front end. So
Yes,
now you do self learning. If you are not able to do self learning, then you can decide what next. First level is you join the community. You see how people are interacting. Every week you join me with a call. We will discuss on one particular topic. We will take a topic. I will explain. We will discuss on topic. So every week you will know like what is your progress. So if you feel that okay, fine, I can do self learning means you can do that. See, I will tell you
ma'am.
one simple example. All these years I have been doing yoga by myself. Okay. So I thought that I know yoga. So I do Surya Namaskar, I do few yoga, these things and all. Then one point I was a self learner. I mean, earlier first I joined yoga, I did it, then I was doing it for all these years. Then I felt this is not enough. I am not good enough doing it. Like my stretches and my bending is not correct. So I joined the place. So now every day I'm going there in the morning so that I can improvise myself. Can you understand what I'm trying to tell? So initially,
Yes, ma'am.
you guys try self-learning. If you are not able to do, if you need more guidance, more hand-holding, then you just switch on to courses or you come to coaching. That's what I would suggest. Coaching will be more like hand-holding you till you reach your destination. Self-learning, you have to take the effort. You should be disciplined to do that. See, when I was doing yoga, that is the scenario. Like when my kids are there, I will skip yoga. When I don't want to do, I will skip yoga. When I'm lazy, I will skip yoga. But now, no matter what, every day I will go there and I can see changes in myself because the trainers over there know better than me. They guide me what should I do, what I should not do. So that is the reason.
Ma'am, one more doubt, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, JSP and servlets, I don't know, ma'am, how to handle.
You
So
don't need that at all. I would
directly we can
suggest
go
you to
to
learn
the
it. Yeah.
Spring or Spring Boot.
Yeah, you can directly go to Spring or Spring Boot. That's what I told. Till 2021 only we were teaching all this. Now it is not required at all. Okay.
Okay.
See, it is enough. Whatever I have told. Backend means Java, JDBC, JUnit, Mockito, Maven. Then after that, Spring Boot, microservices. Microservices is mandatory. You should know microservices. So
Okay, ma'am.
I can 200% assure you, if you are following this structured path, whatever I have given, you can very well crack an interview. See, many freshers, they ask me, okay, will you give job guidance, job assistance? See, I have coached many people, literally many people. It's not that I am just damaging me from few institutes. They come, how they have prepared us, the trainers that are there are very good. They teach them Java. So these people, they prepare only for the Java questions. They don't even write a piece of code. In my
Yes, ma'am.
case, I can 200% assure you that you will be a competent full stack developer. I have seen my students how they have literally gone. They are very good than me. They are excel me. I know people who, one guy in Hyderabad, he has done Facebook here, literally Facebook. He has replicated Facebook. So,
Okay.
and one person, he has, like many people, they have come up with their own ideas. They try to replicate the application. I give only ideas. I'm just a mentor. I teach you. You guys are all very smarter than me. So, because you're working, you are learning, I am here to guide you. Based on my guidance, you will excel more than me. That's what I'm saying. I have seen all my
Definitely.
students doing full stack project. I explain front and back end. I explain how to integrate, and that's all. Many people, they do amazing applications. I can even share
Definitely, ma'am.
online blood bank, lens cart, then similar to Big Basket, how to add it to the cart. And I still remember how to send messages. It's not now, I'm telling 2012. That time, this guy, his name is Dilip, still I remember him. We have a group where people, if they come late, we will give fine. So he created an application where the fine amount will go to his email. During that time only he did it. So what I'm saying is, like, it's up to you how you want to develop. If you are a very good learner, self-learner, means start with self-learning, then proceed further for coaching or whatever.
So I'm following your 15 days challenge, ma'am.
You do that first. You complete that first. By the end
Okay.
of that training, you will have, I can assure you, you'll have a great confidence. Then what
Okay.
next we will decide.
Ma'am, any basic project is there, ma'am, in your 15 days challenge? Because I don't know, ma'am. I'm only third or fourth video.
No problem. That only will take you to advanced level. You follow that step by step, line by line, it will take you to advanced level.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, see, it is moving from the basic to the advanced concepts. So step by step, you follow it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hello,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Yeah.
First
Any
of all,
other
ma'am-
questions, guys?
First of all, thank you so much, ma'am, for this series and the people all who are all in this community. We are very, very grateful to you, ma'am. So
I am grateful to you guys. Okay.
I
Yeah.
know I worked as an intern as a Java full stack developer, ma'am. There I worked as a Spring MVC and Hibernate JSP servlets. So
Ah.
those technologies. So I don't know actually much about front end, ma'am. Actually, I know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript actually. So React, we need to know React, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
you said
exactly.
that you are going to start microservices soon.
Yeah.
So, so when will you start that microservices and React.js course? I mean, full stack, ma'am. So, so that we need to join, we can join that course, right?
Yeah. I will share the details. I will share the details at the earliest in the community only. I will share the details.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Once again.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, actually what happened, like about my thing, I want to tell you about that thing. Like I have total like 3 years of experience, right? So
Okay.
what happened regarding I'm working as a support in
Okay.
in the in the like in the company, right? So
Mm.
what happened, like previously I have knowledge about, I have done like Code, Java Advanced and all. But
Mm.
what happened now, I want to switch it to regarding with Java, right?
Mm.
So that's why I was like, like I accepted this challenge as well, and also like I want to go in that thing, like in front end I know about Angular,
Mm.
and in back end I'm trying to do like to know about the concepts like bootstrap and everything what you have
Mm.
tell us
Mm.
today
Uh,
itself,
uh,
right?
uh.
So like I'm confused, like whether I will get like like I have completed till now like 3 years of experience, right?
Mm.
So should I go like may I capable to go in different to switch different company in a technical role?
Yeah. See, many people in support, they have very well switched to developer roles, where provided you are competent enough. As I told you, first you have to have a solid portfolio about your projects. Or suppose say you say that I know two things you need to have. One is you should have a proper project with all the concepts put together. So you forget about Angular now. Try to switch on to React, or I would suggest Vue.js. Now most of the companies are using React only, because whatever based on the training that I am getting, React only. So you should have a solid full-fledged application developed by you as a full stack application. Number one. Number two. So okay, now you can go and tell in the interview panel that I have done a full stack application. What next? It is interview. So you have to be very good in the concepts and the interview part. So of late also I got somebody after taking this training that they have done some they have attended some interview also. So the in interview, it's not only Spring they will ask about microservices. What is the purpose of actuator? Then what is the meaning of profiles? Like what is the meaning of load balancing? How load balancing works? So all these concepts, they are all a part of microservices. So it's not that okay, you do a project, it is done. No, you should be very good in Java 8 interview questions. Then moving on to what is the difference between JUnit, Makito, Spring, microservices, coming to the front end part. So interview wise also you should prepare yourself. But I can 200% guarantee you, don't think that because you are in support you cannot move on to developer. You have to put the heart and soul, just like how you guys have done for 15 days. You have to create a solid application, then prepare yourself for your interviews. I will share my BSL, guys. You can just go through that. What you need to do, to switch your career to developer. Java full stack will be there. It is there, it is always there. So if you want to develop yourself in this particular Java full stack, you want to move from support to this, these are the topics that you need to go through, as I told you. And see, it's not that I developed the project so I can attend the interview, not at all. I still remember last year, one guy literally screwed me with all these concepts. He asked, what is the difference between default methods and this thing? They don't believe, they don't even ask, like, okay, she is experienced. They don't even bother about that. They want to know whether you're a subject matter expert. You can say that I have done this project, this, but you should be a subject matter expert. So how, when that subject matter expertise will come? How? See, even in my sleep, if you wake up me and ask Spring Boot, I can do it because of I have been doing training continuously. So how it is possible? It is possible because of the work. So you have to dedicate yourself 1 hour to 2 hours every day. See, now I am moving forward to cloud. I want to do cloud. I have taken cloud twice or thrice and I just threw it off. Now I want to do cloud and I want to get cloud certification. So for that, I cannot simply say that, okay, I'm a cloud certified trainer or anything. It will not work. See, when one simple example I just want to tell you, don't think that it is boring. When I started my career, I had a gap. After my completion, I had a gap. So I have to somehow enter into that. So how to prove myself that I know Java? I did Java certification. In 2005, I did Java 5, which was called as Java Tiger. I had a kid during that time also, but I used to sit for hours together, prepare myself so that I am competent enough with other people who are there. So slowly, then that is how I build my reputation. So if you want to do that, you allocate hours every day. It is not that 3 days a week. It's not like yoga or anything. Every day you have to allocate yourself so that you are preparing something. You are developing an application. In that itself, side by side, you have to start attending interviews. People who are joining in the community, I will be sharing you your Spring interview questions, one set completely with the answers. So you can go through that. It is, see, without knowing anything, if you go through, it will not work out. You should be good in the concepts. You should know how to work with the examples. Then if you are go through it, it will be easier. Correct. So I can assure you, if you're putting effort, there are chances. It's not like a chocolatey talk or anything. It is the truth. I have seen it and I am seeing it. That is the reason.
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for this brief.
Yeah, for freshers, my dear guys, the game role is completely different. For freshers, they don't expect you to have a very huge project, microservices and all, but you have to be very strong in DSA, algorithm, Java, pure Java. If you have written Java, 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 that's all. And if you are projecting yourself or saying that you are a full stack developer, then they will ask for Java full stack and other stuffs. Okay. Okay. So guys, I will share all the details in the WhatsApp group. So you can decide what is right for you. What I would suggest is the community, why I have made this as a paid community, that also I'll tell you. Few times like it is taking my time when I'm answering questions and queries that is coming in the group. You guys know. If it is a community, if it is a supportive community, others also can help. And I want to share my knowledge to the bigger group. So we can have every week Q&A sessions, and this will be a private community exclusive for us ourselves, helping each other to grow in terms of career also. And this is the first thing. And another thing is like I'm planning, we actually as a team we are planning to do at least one webinar or regular webinars using, I mean, with the people from different corporates, like who were my students, who are still working, and then on certain topics. So that also is possible. So that is why I have made it a private community. All these years, like whenever people are asking question, I have never said no. But now I want to make it as a private community specific to them, and I want to do something good. The questions, everything, I will share it in the community. Anything else? Any more questions? Yeah, Varun. I think like you connected with me, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yesterday I connected with you. Yesterday I was busy with the office work. Now I'll subscribe the course which you have sent,
Yeah. Oh,
and
okay. That's. Mm.
and I'll
Sure.
start to work. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the things you have covered, right? So all
Exactly.
the things like that I'm going through. Actually, we are working on full stack. Basically, I'm working on backend actually.
Okay.
So first I will concentrate on backend. Like some of the people have mentioned, they said like they worked on support. Like I also worked on support. Now I'm working as a developer. So slowly I'm facing difficulties, but slowly it is moving ahead. But I need more knowledge on Spring and microservices, and it is going on. Like once I started like watching the video, I got some confidence to work
Will,
on the
I can 200% I guarantee you.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and all those things like people were mentioning, you were mentioning, like I work on many technologies like Java, Spring Boot, microservices, GitHub,
Mm.
and pipelines. Like I use Azure pipelines, Docker,
Mhm.
Kubernetes,
Oh, nice.
and yeah,
Uh,
and so also backend for the database we are using Cosmos DB for the
oh.
NoSQL, just
Uh.
like MongoDB. It
Oh,
is.
very nice. Okay, okay. I have added one video also on how to integrate Spring application
Mm.
MongoDB here in the YouTube channel.
Sure, I will
Uh-huh.
go through it. So I started to watch your videos just 4 or 5 days back. Actually, I did not find much time because I'm in a sprint actually. Like we are using Sprint
Oh,
board,
okay,
Azure
okay.
DevOps board.
Uh-huh.
So the technologies which I am using here in the project is very advanced, and so many technologies they're using. Like
Oh, okay.
basically, I was into this production support, right? Like they
Uh,
moved into development.
mm,
Since the project was not there in the production support, for me, it's a blessing in disguise, actually. Yeah, like
uh-huh.
they did
Seriously,
not have.
you should be very happy and grateful because
Uh,
getting an opportunity to work on these technologies is very, very rare. Even after we give training, certain
mm.
participants will be very lucky enough to enter into those technologies, and certain will be few people will be put in production support only. This I
Yeah,
have seen.
I was in the production support. Like I was trying to move into development. Like I was watching Spring Boot videos in the YouTube and try to
Mm.
learn by myself with the CRUD operations and all.
Oh,
But
okay.
I was not clearing interviews. So okay, like I'm not clearing into. Let's go for production support again.
Mm.
I went to production support in this company, but the fortunately the production support the project did not come up in the company. So they said, look, okay, we have openings for development. If you will give a chance for you to work on this one, Okay, I tried and move ahead, and also they're encouraging me for full stack also.
Oh, very
Angular,
nice.
I need to, yeah,
Very
Angular,
nice.
the front end they're using,
Uh,
and it's very exciting. It's a little bit tough, and I'm excited to work on these technologies.
Yeah, it will be, but what I would suggest is consistency matter. See, it's very
Yeah.
simple thing, just like how Suraj said. Like when I started with this, actually I wanted to start in December for this YouTube. I used to put YouTube videos, but I'm not that very consistent. Last year also, like I started in Instagram providing Java interview questions. So I am not that. Because of my work and my trainings and my family, I am not that very consistent. So in between, it stopped. So now but this time, like when I started seeing the inspiration from you, like I was very consistent, but last two I couldn't do it at all literally, but somehow
Yeah.
I completed this challenge. Why I'm saying this is consistency matters for everything. I don't have to tell you guys, you all know, but for learning also you put some time, like every day 1.5 hours you sit, because you are working already in Spring Boot. Learning through going through my videos will not be a tough job. So you can start watching it, so that like you will get the confidence. Once you are comfortable, then you decide, okay, how to do microservices. If you're a self learner, you can just buy the courses, just like that you can learn through the courses. Also, I can 200% guarantee you that you will be very comfortable in this community. Every week we will discuss on maybe Spring interview questions. Just now you told no, so based on that I decided, okay, maybe we can, when we are having a Q&A call every half an hour, we can discuss on interview questions, so that it is easier for the participants also. Like, okay, we have got some value from you, like that they will feel.
Yes, and also we had a production release in the morning. Like I couldn't attend completely with your webinar. I was in and out of the your
Oh,
webinar. Like in the morning they had a production release,
okay.
so I wanted to attend this webinar. So I just
Hmm.
attend. I did not completely watch your videos, but I was in and out actually in between.
Oh, okay. No problem. You
Uh,
can just watch it.
uh,
Maybe I'll just add it to YouTube also. No problem.
okay.
See, I have not directly gone into the public. Like whenever I have taken trainings in corporates, I have seen people who are coming from a no CS background, who are coming from, I mean, what is that? Who from production support, they have done very well, exceptionally well. It's not very well, exceptionally well. People from triple E background, mechanical background, doesn't have any knowledge on C or C++, Java, and we do in a rush way, like you know, right? In a corporate, 5 days of Java, 5 days of Spring, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
finish it
sure.
off and then send them. Somehow they have to struggle and somehow they have to learn. So same thing here, and they have done exceptionally well. Mine is a really structured course. So based on the experience, whatever I have got, I have structured it and I have given it to you. So if you follow that completely, in the end, yeah, in that particular course, there is a project, which is a very old project. So I am planning to add a new project also with all the concepts put together, so that you are confident enough to complete that. So that also I wanted to tell you in that Spring course. And guys, I'm also coming up with a Spring microservices course based on all the topics that I have given. It might be looking like, okay, fine, 10 to 15 videos only, but the worth is literally too much. Because 15 videos means 15 different concepts you will be learning, and you will be creating a microservice application. So that's all from my end, guys. I have talked about the community, I have talked about the courses. Coaching is for like who cannot do self-learning, who want handhold and guidance. You can just fill the form. We will discuss. You can take a, career counseling session from my team. They will help you out, like what is needed, what you can do, how you can just proceed further. If you are a self-learner, you can do it all by yourself. Means come down to courses. No, I know everything. I just want some community support. I want interview support. Means join this community. I can assure you, the free community itself was so very helping. Here, you will get more value from me also. Every week we will connect, so that you will get more value from me also. That's from my side. Anything else? Can we wind up now? Thank you, Rahul. Like I will
Sure,
just
ma'am.
I will add you to the group. Okay. Now maybe we can wind up.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.